Michael, how are you?
Paul, no one can see you, but I'm well.
Yeah, I know. I got to fix my camera. I'm trying to figure it out now.
Okay, all right. I'll just riff for a little bit. Welcome to JetHeads, the pregame show. I'm not saying good morning, fellow travelers. I'm sorry. I think I could do that with a straight face. I think we do still have to work on the intro, but Miami Dolphins, week four. Is it four? It's really week 14. Is this really like our 14th show we've done in the regular season?
I think it's our 13th because bye week, but yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, we've stacked a lot of these up quickly.
I was gonna say, like, it feels like it's in like 25 weeks, and it also feels like we haven't done it many at all. It's been such a weird season. I feel like we've had like 3 Jet seasons in like one so far, where like all the hype, all the preseason, all the good vibes was basically its own version, and then everything went gloom and despair, and then post London, post bye week, it seems like there's actually some optimism, and now just a full blown tank war. So I don't know. Every Jet season, it's never normal. No normal days. Zero always will always be 0 days since last nonsense. But I guess start off, Paul. Are you ready to trade 3 first-round picks to get the overall pick to take Fernando Mendoza?
I'm not, and it's not an indictment on what he did last night. I thought he played really admirably.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think he went out and took the game from Ohio State. I thought Indiana's defense was incredible. Ohio State's offense did nothing last night.
Yeah.
They did nothing. They scored their points off a turnover. They had a few big plays. They had a big play with Carnell Tate for the touchdown. They had a big play with Jeremiah Smith that ended up resulting in 3. They also missed a field goal. Did they miss 2 field goals?
So they got inside the 20 twice.
Oh, yeah.
They missed 1 field goal, and the other one was the sneak. So
the turnover on downs that got overturned, right? So,
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not trying to knock the kid. Like he went into the championship and he beat Ohio State. Awesome.
Yeah, he played well. He got beat up. He responded well. He made really big throws. I thought the touchdown to Surratt was pretty. I thought the bomb when he was 32 on his own 20, that 51-yarder, I think that was to 80, the white kid, Becker. I think he caught that. That was a groove. And then the game winner. You know, it was 3rd and 6. You had your matchup. He hit it. Like, he made some good throws. I thought he took some bad sacks. I thought he played fine. Like,
yeah.
Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I have my problem. It's just like, I don't know. You can watch a game be 13-10 and just be like, wow, what a quarterback. Like, how did he do this? Like, it takes a team effort, you know?
And
and
I'm not trying to throw shade. Like, I'll say it like this. Did my opinion of Fernando Mendoza change last night? Yes.
No.
Like mine did.
Okay.
Like I went in thinking he's going to be overmatched. The moment's going to be too big for him. He gets slobber knocked in the first play of the game. And I was like, oh boy, here we go. Like, long night for Fernando coming up. He comes back in the game after one play. He stood tall. He took a lot of big hits. And I think, like, I was cautiously kind of like, all right, I haven't seen anything yet the whole game. And then the big play to seal the game at the end, I was like, man, like, that takes nuts from everybody, from Cignetti, from everybody involved there. But for Fernando Mendoza to throw that ball, like, took nuts. And I was like, I am impressed. Did I change my opinion enough to potentially move to where we have to move to get him? No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I got a higher opinion of him than you. I don't know. Just how he played against Penn State. Like, I've seen him have those moments. The way he responded at Oregon, which is a tough environment to play. Like last night's game, like, Ohio State's the best team played, but also that was basically an Indiana home game because it's in Indiana. Did last night, so, like, you know, I feel like he's playing tougher environments, so that's why I think the moment was going to get to him. After watching him walk down Oregon, after going in Happy Valley, winning in Kinnick, like, I just think those are harder places to play. Even now, like I said, Ohio State's a better team, very good defense, and credit to him for making the plays when he did. But he is what he is. Like, I just don't value his skill set as a trade multiple first-round picks to get.
Right.
I think you can get that skill set in the draft. Or like, if Fernando Mendoza was there on the board, the Jets picked 7th, I'd have no problem if they just took him. But he's not going to be, because quarterbacks are at premium. We're all going to watch Sunday football today, and the football is going to be bad. There's going to be a lot of bad quarterbacks because the Shield is a cooked product. And we're going to see as for change my impressions for saying it's going to be a very interesting discussion because it's completely going to be traits versus process. Because he is not a toolsy quarterback, but he is very accurate. He's good in the pocket, and he just continues to deliver passes on time. I thought he rebounded well in the second half after getting hit in the first half, but he's a 20-year-old redshirt freshman making his 13th start. Like, I don't expect him to look better than Mendoza. I think an indictment on Mendoza if he did, because Saint's not a draft eligible prospect. So I think it really depends on what you value for Saint. I don't think he's physically as limited as some people think he is, but I do think that's going to be a huge question with his draft process. That's a question for the offseason.
The way he slides around when he's facing pressure, I thought was pretty impressive last night. He's got there's something, I don't have the right words for it right now, but like watching his feet last night, I was like, oh, okay. Like he's slippery. Like he's tough to get contained in the pocket, even though he's not super fast or anything like that. Like you said, he's not toolsy, but there's just like an element to him that's slippery.
Correct. Yeah, and like the way and he just doesn't really throw he's just not inaccurate. His feet are always well. His mechanics are good. He's a different quarterback than the quarterbacks have had recently, and I can see a big part of the fan base, and Mendoza qualifies for this as well, being drawn to a quarterback who's more mechanically sound, that maybe doesn't have all the all-world talent, but is more consistent down-to-down basis in the way that Sam was it when he was here, and that Zach never has been. Basically, besides when BYU is playing with no fans in the stands against, Mercy. I'm okay with passing on Mendoza. That post-game interview was weird. I mean, this is something that, like optics matter. Like, I'm sorry to say that, like, not every franchise is created equal. Some quarterbacks will be held to a different standard. When you're the Browns quarterback, does this matter? Probably not. If you're the Titans quarterback or the Seahawks quarterback, or there's another random franchise, the Falcons quarterback, like, does this stuff matter? No. But New York is different. And every single quarterback who gets drafted by the Jets, because they haven't had one, because the playoff drought exists, will get self-appointed as a savior, which is unfair to the player, first and foremost. But that's the reality. Like, we've all made the point, and you've made your feelings clear about Kirk Cousins, that we don't like Kirk Cousins, but Kirk Cousins knew he wasn't the right fit for New York, and he used it for all the leverage. He got the money. He went to Minnesota. That was that. But there's something to be said about that playing in this market is different, and people are going to get held to a different standard. And like, I maybe this is too much Giants glazing, but like, I don't know how good Jackson Dart really is and how well he's going to be able to stay on the field with his play style. But Jackson Dart, I think, gets it. And I think Jackson Dart as a person is going to thrive in New York, because I think that's what they want. They want that self-confidence, and they want, like, the things that exist with him that, the Jets beggars can't be choosers in that regard, that like they just take a good quarterback. But I just think when things go south, that's the first thing people are going to look at.
Yeah, I mean, well said, dude. I don't know how to say what I feel about it. Like it freaked me out watching last night. Like, I was like, oh wow, what a great game. I was about to flip over to see the end of the Virginia Duke game, and that interview came on screen, and I was just like frozen in my living room alone, like feeling awkward. I was like, oh man, like what's going on here? It just like, it gives me the willies. Like, I don't really know how to explain what I felt about that. And yet it does matter. Like, and it might be super endearing at first because he will be anointed the savior. Like, at first it could be really like, all right, everybody's going to lean into this personality. But the moment things start to go sideways, which they will, because he's a rookie quarterback and because it's the Jets, like, I worry about what happens then, because to me, he seems like the media training is deep there. Like, he's programmed every time he gets in front of a microphone, do not say anything good about yourself. Immediately give credit to all your teammates. And I'm not saying that.
Well, God first.
Then
Come
teammates.
On
now. Yeah. But it strikes me, and I'm not saying that it's disingenuous. I don't think he like doesn't mean it. I feel like the media training is like so overcooked that he almost doesn't have the ability to like talk off script a little bit and just be a person. And that's that's a little bit of a dangerous thing. And, you know, Max said it in our chat last night. Like it's hard to square a guy going out on the field, walking down one of the best football programs in the nation, and then looking like that after the game. Like it's hard. It's hard for me to wrap my head around. I'll tell you, I walked away from the game last night. Like my big picture was I need Carnell Tate and I need Jeremiah Smith. Like that's what I walked away with. I was like a couple times they had the ball. I was like, I need those dudes.
Yeah. Well, to go back to the chat I had put up, so shout out to Lynn for saying this. I need Sonny Styles after watching that performance. Oh boy.
Yeah.
That Sonny with the Colts pick goes more of what I want to do by the day, because that's the exact linebacker this defense needs. So with that size, with that length, who do you know how many tackles Sonny Styles has missed in the run game this year?
Under 5.
0.
Like, my God.
Yeah. But also, just to wrap up the Mendoza point, just to see how things turn quickly, how nice were the vibes for Aaron Glenn? Someone who played for the franchise, understood all the right things about understanding what it is to play here, to win here, what it means. In July, when everything was fine, we didn't play any games, him being, combating with beat, everyone liked, everyone got enjoyment, everyone got a good, everyone was enjoying them ripping the beat. The month of September happened and everyone acted like the Antichrist, myself included. Like, I'm not going to act like I wasn't like upset with how he lived. Like, that's how quickly things can change. And that is a man who had built up equity here. Mendoza, that shtick, his draft reaction could be great. Him at OTAs and rookie minicamp could be great. But if they start 1-3 and he's still talking about Jesus, giving him grace after you lost 34-3, like that stick is going to get criticized. Like there's no way around it. Like I'm not trying to make this a religious thing. I'm just using that as an example that history is written by the victors. If you win, it doesn't matter how cringe but like who comes in the NFL and dominates from day one. You got to get humbled in this league. Like, look at all, besides maybe Mahomes, what quarterback had adversity or hasn't had, Josh Allen, people didn't think was good for 3 years. Lamar was considered a running back.
Some people still don't think Josh Allen's good.
Exactly. Joe Burrow literally has lost half his body parts playing for the Cincinnati Bengals. Justin Herbert, I feel like that guy gets hurt every year. Jesus loves the other team. So, you got to think about that. All right. You want to talk about the Dolphins?
I think we've covered Mendoza.
I think we've covered Mendoza enough.
Let's start here. Well, we're going to have to go back to talking about the conference championship when PSU Joe comes on later. So we'll save the rest of it for later. Let's start here.
This is we have an hour show to fill, but this is it. This is the graphic. This is everything. We can't beat Tua. Tua can't play in the cold. If the Jets get their first interception, God forbid they get their second interception as well today, I think they win. If Tua does not have a turnover, I think they lose. I think Darren Waller is going to do what Darren Waller does because this franchise can't cover a tight end. Achane is probably going to have 40 yards receiving. We'll get to that in the bets later because the Jets in covering screens has, never always been their jam, especially with a player like that, especially how Miami likes to scheme it up, where if you're not going to force turnovers and you're not going to let Tua put this offense in short fields, I don't think they're going to score enough points because I don't think the Jets defense is shutting down Miami's offense personally, but maybe you disagree.
No, I completely agree, and I am going to go. What are we up to? 4 units now on the interception bet. I'm going to keep climbing that ladder. This feels like the one this week. I'm also wondering. It feels very Jetsy to make the decision to sit Justin Fields down with a fake injury, and elevate Brady Cook, and then this is the week that Tyrod gets hurt. Right, it does kind of feel Jetsy for that to happen. And
I texted you that as soon as it happened. We're both on the same wavelength with that.
And also, like, could it be the week that Tua gets hurt? Because he hasn't really had a significant injury this year, and we see Zach Wilson. Is this game Zach Wilson against Brady Cook at some point?
It actually depends. Miami's gone back and forth with having Ewers as QB2 or Zach as QB2. So Brady Cook versus Quinn Ewers, I think would, as a college football fan, would be just like maybe like worse. But like obviously Zach being the former Jets quarterback gives this a different element playing the Jets. But like just what is a perfect microcosm of how bad the QB play in the NFL is watching Quinn Ewers versus Brady Cook for like 2 quarters. But yes, I do understand what you're saying. That I think it's gonna happen. Like, I really want to see. Like, we're gonna have the Wilkes discussion the rest of the year. Like, this is an offense that is. It's not like multiple, but what it does, the one thing it knows how to do, it normally does well. And can you stop it? Because you could not stop it in Miami. Like Tyreek Hill's knee literally like exploded against you, and you still had no answers for this offense.
Dolphins are another team that seemed to get better after losing their best player or one of their best players. But I'm running through. I'm sorry, I'm still stuck on the interception thing. So I'm just going to read off to his interception numbers from this year. He's got 14 on the season, which is insane. 2 versus the Colts week 1, 1 versus the Patriots, 1 versus the Bills, 0 against us, 0 against the Panthers, 3 against the Chargers, 3 against the Browns, 0 against the Falcons, 1 against the Ravens, 2 against the Bills, 0 against the Commies, and 1 against the Saints. So this dude throws an interception damn near every game, except against us.
Correct.
And that really is kind of like what it feels like the game comes down to. It's going to be cold. They're going to hit him a couple times. Can you get him to give us one?
Yeah, that's it. That's really like, we'll see how Tyrod does. We'll see if Tyrod stays healthy. The Jets off it. Like, I think the Dolphins defense, like the Dolphins have quietly had like a resurgence, quote unquote, the past couple weeks. I mean, the Dolphins were literally like looking like they were in a tank battle with us for a point, and then they've rounded off a couple wins. McDaniel and Tua, I think, are going to be the head coach and quarterback next year, given like what the contracts are. But their defense is stabilized. Like they can really score in Spain, but like Washington didn't do much against them. They beat the Bills because they kept Josh Allen in check. I don't think the Bills scored a point for like almost 3 quarters that game. Like, Anthony Weaver's doing a good job calling that unit. Can the Jets offense put up 20 points? Like, I kind of want to see it because I don't know, like without besides the Bengals game, without special teams, this team can't get there and win games with just their offense. The defense isn't helping out. Like the defense isn't giving them short fields. So special teams gave them 10 points against Atlanta and 14 against Cleveland. Like that's how they've won those 2 games. So can the offense show they can win a game without that help? Would actually be a big step today, I think, because the Dolphins defense isn't like a shitty unit in my opinion.
Yeah, no, definitely not. All right, we got our first caller. Before we bring Joe in, I do want to put this comment up and just say I am betting my family's Christmas on a Jets interception today.
Well, tell the chat what you originally bet your Christmas on, and now this is the
chase.
Down. This is the double
chase.
Down.
Yeah, so
Paul, yeah, you can go.
I had a parlay on Ohio State last night and Virginia last night, and neither one. So I probably should have just faded myself. But here we are. Christmas is riding on a Tua Tagovailoa interception. So Joe, welcome. Thanks for coming. I'm going to tee you up here and I'm going to let you run. Meegs had some really just not nice things to say about the Penn State program this week. And we have an agenda to cover. So I'm going to step back and let you go.
Yeah. Well, I think I misunderstood Meegs a little bit, to be honest.
Okay.
So I need him to clarify.
Okay.
Is the belief that Penn State could never be in Ohio State because they don't have the resources, or is it just that the fans' expectations of what they are today is completely out of whack?
So I don't think, and Indiana is literally, I think, warping people's brains. Indiana's almost become for colleges what Josh Allen was for quarterback evaluation. Like I don't like Penn State has won. I wasn't alive in 1982. I don't know who actually deserved the national championship. Was it SMU or was it Penn State? I'm not going to act like I was. The media decided it. Besides the 86 season when they beat Miami, they've never won the national title. That was the Mets won the World Series that same year. It's been a while. Like, I think certain programs have an unrealistic expectation where they don't like being told that their ceiling is capped. And I think James Franklin was operating Penn State. I don't like James Franklin personally. I think he was kind of an asshole. But I thought he was operating that program at like about as close to the ceiling as you can get. And chasing 1% isn't always a good thing. Like, look at Auburn. You know what Gus Malzahn's record at Auburn was? 64-35. Do you know what Auburn's record is since they fired him? 15-34.
Yeah, I figured so.
Like, sometimes being not good enough, you can get worse. And for Penn State, like, I don't think that they I don't think they can win the national title because I have no evidence that they can. I'm not saying they don't have resources to, or they're not going to try to, but they're probably now with the new conference, the fifth best job, maybe probably fourth. It's either them or USC. Like, I think Michigan, Ohio State, and Oregon, like, are like the top three at the moment. So that's where I get to where it's like, I like Matt Campbell as a coach. I worry about putting a developmental coach in a program like that who has come closest to winning Penn State a national title since 1986. It's James Franklin, 13 months ago or 11 months ago, and he got fired.
There were some years in there where we, like, I'll tell you right now, we were the best team in the country in 1994. You could go look it up. Nebraska won the national title, but we had an all-time – I mean, again, this is before playoffs or any of that stuff. And then even in the early, or I guess it was late 2000s, we had some teams that were pretty close. So to go back to your original statement, I don't think I disagree with you completely. I do think James Franklin got us very close to the ceiling. I don't know that I'd say we were 99% there, but I would, if you said to me, hey, we're 90% there. Yeah, I agree with you with that. Right.
Okay.
And I don't know that. I definitely think firing him and hiring someone else is a huge gamble, right? Mm-hmm. I was not happy how the search was going. I mean, we were tweeting each other about it, throughout the week. I actually am happier with Campbell than I would have been with the guy from BYU.
Yeah, I understand why. Yeah,
agreed.
So I feel good about that. And I mean, listen, the AD is going to be on the hot seat now. If Campbell doesn't work out, the first person to go is going to be the AD. Because apparently he's changing our philosophy where he wants to be really heavy in NIL. He went from 22 million this year to 30 million for next year that he's giving the guy to use. He's giving him 17 million for a coaching staff. They did retain Terry Smith as the associate head coach, and they're going to give him a position, and he's going to be the highest paid associate in the country. I don't know if that's merited or not, but we do have a alumni base and a Letterman base that is, let's just say, vocal within, and at times maybe to our detriment on the backside of things. But it'll be interesting to see how things play out. Like, do you think we're going to move to 16 playoff teams next year?
Whatever happens today is going to change the playoff format, because your two options are putting in a Sun Belt team who has beaten 0 Power 4 teams, or a Duke team that lost 5 games, including to UConn. Shout out UConn to Paul. So
yeah, they're backed into a corner. They're going to have to make a bad choice.
There is no winner here. And really what should have happened is the ACC's tiebreakers are what screwed them. Like, the ACC should have had plans in place to not – your conference is so big. Like, Miami and Duke had 2 common opponents. They play in the same conference. They had 2 common opponents. Like, that's absurd. Right.
No, it definitely is.
Rich knows what he's talking about. UConn won the ACC.
UConn won the ACC by the transfer property. So did Tulane. And so did
So one quick note here, Joe, Meegs was not a glint in his parents' eye yet in that 1994 team. That 1994 team had Kerry Collins. I believe Kiana Carter was the running back, right?
Kajana Carter, Bobby Ingram, Kyle Brady was the tight end on the team, which I know is a sore subject for Jets fans.
Joe
But,
Juravicius was also, I think, a freshman on that
Joe
team.
Juravicius was, and his daughter is actually a sophomore volleyball player on our volleyball team right now. But we had just a completely stacked team. It was like an all-time. OJ McDuffie was on one of those teams. It was an all-time team, and if you go just look up the statistics from that year, I mean, everyone was screaming. And now I was 15, so I remember it pretty vividly. But we were yelling like, "Why aren't we playing in the national against Nebraska in the national title?" But back then, the bowl games were by conference, and it just wasn't a thing even at that point.
Not the right system then, and not the right system today either.
They've never had it correct.
I will go to my grave saying we would have won that game. And I wasn't a Penn Stater at that point in time. I mean, I rooted for them, but I wasn't, I was still in high school at the time.
I guess where we'll cap this off is more of my last point of Penn State, and both fan bases will be offended by this comparison. That's how you know there's a little bit of truth in it. I look at Penn State, not quite to this extent. I mean, actually, they're both kind of cults in their own way, so apologies for that. But, like, you know how Texas A&M has all the money to win the national title, but they have no evidence of winning the national title? That's kind of the bucket I put Penn State in, where it's like, if you get the right coach and you get all those voices who want to have a say in everything rowing in the same direction, could it happen? Yes. Would I bet on it happening? No, because I have seen no evidence that it can get over the hump. Like, A&M losing to Texas was just so on brand for what they did.
Yeah, it really was.
If they have to play Alabama or if they have to play Notre Dame again in the 7-10 matchup, like, would I pick them to win that game? No. Like, if Penn State last year had to play a Power 4 team, would I bet James Franklin to win that game? No. Like, they got to play SMU. They got to play Boise State. Like, play who's in front of you. Like, I'm not taking those wins away. They made a semifinal. Like, there's no things around that. But, like, there are games like that where, like, I just don't trust that. So regardless who's the coach, regardless who's the quarterback, I need to see a program like that break through before I'm just going to say that it's going to happen.
I think that's all very fair.
Here's a question I have for you, though, and this does not necessarily reflect how I personally feel about this hire, but do you think Penn State's a better program than Iowa State?
I do.
Me? Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you, Meegs, right? Dude, so has Matt Campbell been punching up above his weight class for 10 years straight at Iowa State?
Yes.
So he's a really good X's and O's coach. He's a program builder, which Penn State maybe needs a little bit underneath the covers if they are not able to fully get there. Like, in theory, this could be the right coach. Again, not necessarily how I personally feel, but you went and grabbed a guy who's been punching above his weight class for 10 straight years that the NFL's been interested in for about 5 years. That, like,
Jets tried to hire Matt Campbell like twice, I want to say.
He probably is one of the few guys who could make the jump because he's like a really smart X's and O's guy, and he probably would be able to adapt his game to the NFL. And so, like, I don't know. I don't know if I believe the story that, like, they couldn't get in touch with him on the first go around, that like they had the wrong phone number or whatever. But I think at the end of the day, it's a really good hire. And you look at how Iowa State's AD spoke about him in the press conference with him going out the door, like, no animosity at all. The guy was borderline choked up crying, being like, he owes nothing to this university. He did nothing but elevate us for the last 10 years. Like, who knows, man? Maybe it's the right hire. Maybe it can take them to that next level.
Yeah.
Listen, I want to coach, and listen, to his credit, Franklin, I mean, took us a play away from going to the national championship last year, right? So, I mean, when you talk about that ceiling, Meegs, you're right on that. If Campbell could get us into the playoffs every year going forward, with a maybe not as the 16 seed, but as like a middle seed, I'd feel that's success because then you have a shot, right?
Yeah.
And that's all I'm looking for. If that's what he delivers, that's great. And we'll see how it goes. I mean, I'm excited because I did not like how it was going for most of that search.
Yeah. I guess my last point, I'll end on a positive point. I won't make a comment about how Matt Campbell reminds me a lot of James Franklin at Vanderbilt. But James Franklin did a great job at Vanderbilt. Like, this isn't it at all. He did an excellent job. But Iowa State puts receivers in the league. Like, Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel would be the two best Penn State receivers of the 2020s.
Don't forget about Alan Lazard.
Yeah. Yeah, like, Iowa State puts guys in the league.
Did he go to Iowa State?
The skill.
Yeah.
Was he under Campbell? Yeah, I guess he was.
He had to have been. Matt Campbell's been there since 2016. Yeah, he had to have been.
Wow.
Yeah.
That might change my opinion now. But just one question: how do you think Franklin will do at Virginia Tech?
I think he's going to do well. I do.
I do too.
The Brent Pry thing is very weird. I find that
really weird.
Really weird. I mean, Max were talking about that at like 1 o'clock last night. Like Vance Joseph kind of did the same thing, but there was like a multi-year gap. I think you need to wait you need to work somewhere else. Like not moving is great. Like I wouldn't want to move either, but like that's odd. But like I think, and this is the thing I want to see with Campbell, is that James Franklin can recruit. Like look what happened with Florida's recruiting class. Look what happened with LSU's recruiting class. They didn't fall apart when Napier got fired or Brian Kelly got fired. They wanted to go to that school because they wanted to go to the school. Penn State players want to play for James Franklin. Like James Franklin has his flaws, but that dude puts guys in the NFL. Like his strength coach, his conditioning program gets guys ready for the league, and players are going to follow him there. Like the ACC at the moment is a tire fire. Florida State is deplorable. Miami has all the talent in the world and has a coach who's trying to win every game 13-6. And Clemson, I think, is done. So, like, if Duke won the ACC last night, you can't tell me Virginia Tech can't win now within 2 years at the rate they're going. If the league doesn't change, like, it wouldn't surprise me at all.
It's funny. My goddaughter's sister went to to Virginia Tech, and she texted me the other day right after the hire, and she said, it's only a matter of time before Franklin plays Penn State in the playoff. And she's probably right about that. Like you could just write it down now.
Manny Diaz won the ACC before Mario Cristobal did. Would you be stunned if James Franklin made the playoff before Penn State did? Like again, I'm talking about like going forward.
No, I wouldn't.
Like that's something that the fan base is going to have to get ready for because that conversation could happen.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's next year. The only thing is, I don't know if you looked at our schedule next year. It is really, really light.
Yeah.
No Ohio State, no Michigan, I think, or no Oregon. I mean, Campbell's walking into a decent schedule there, so that's not a bad thing.
It's really just going to keep the class together. But these are the inactives. Right. We just put them on the screen. No Tony Adams. Oh,
before we let you go, what is Miss PSU Joe putting her money on today, and what are you putting your money on for the Jets today?
Well, I don't. So I feel good about the Jets, and I'm definitely going up on the 4 units on the interception. Which is driving me crazy because it's funny. I didn't know what you were betting last night, but I bet the same exact thing and I lost. So like I had that, and then I just had a straight on Ohio State that I put in right before the game. And you told me giving 3.5, I was going to lose that. I mean, obviously I bet on it, so I didn't believe it, but unbelievable how that line moved.
Couldn't believe it.
Today I like the Jets. I like them to win. I'm trying to figure out if I like the over or not. And try to parlay.
It wouldn't surprise me if this was a high scoring game, to be honest with you.
I've not verified this information, but Will said earlier this week that the Jets are the best team in the AFC against the spread this year.
Yep.
And you've started to see it bubble on Twitter a little bit that like, wait a minute, the Jets are really good against the spread. And also I have a long running, and it's not my original thought, but like there's somebody on Twitter years ago when I first started betting was like this theory that like the spread is dead. Basically, anytime that there's a spread under 3 points and you want to bet the dog, just take them on the money line and like don't take the points. And the data says that you'll win in the long run like that. And so with the line what it is today, like just take the Jets.
Yeah, Falcons were the same thing last week. I said that. I was just like, I'm not betting them to cover the spread. I'm like, I think they're going to win the game. Like, I know they're winning the game and spend them on the money line. We said that last week, and of course, Kirked in MetLife in the cold like we expected he would. So
he didn't Kirk enough, but he Kirked a little bit.
Well, yeah, actually, also the broadcast was probably driving Paul crazy because I texted him this. They said that he had an interception for like the last 2 quarters. I was like, I didn't miss this. I would have gotten like 6 texts from Paul. I'm like, are they just mocking you? Like, do we have a JetHeads listener who's literally working the graphics for Fox? Like, I was generally like, how deep state is this going to go?
Hey, real quick, I see Adams is on the inactive. Was he hurt?
Yeah, I think he got hurt last week. I think he came out of the game.
So I thought I heard Joe on the 12-pack or whatever say he would probably get the interception today, but all right. Well, that's not happening.
No. I wouldn't bet on Jordan. And I think Brownlee's out too. Actually, wait, is Brownlee playing or they ruled him out so he's not inactive?
No, Brownlee's on the IR.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So his season's basically done because they only have 5 games left.
And Adams pulled his groin during the Falcons game last week.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, maybe take the over.
Yeah, I'm thinking so. Jets in the over. That's what money line in the over. That's what I'm doing.
Love it.
Okay.
Thanks for
All right,
calling in, Joe. Good
Thanks
to
for
see
calling
you.
in,
Thanks,
Joe.
guys. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
I'm just going to say personally, and you can give your own opinion to Landon's point, Mozzie Smith and Jelani Woods are the same thing for me. Like, they were just draft picks that didn't work out that the Jets acquired. And you're like, oh, I remember this guy. Like, why don't they play him? And you're just kind of seeing it. Like, I kind of just feel they're the same point. But do you know what this inactive means?
What?
Guess who's active today?
Who?
5th round All-Star Tyler Barron.
Yeah. McGregor's down. Yeah, you're right.
Is okay? Is he's 1-1 for funniest outcome for the first Jets interception, right?
He is.
There?
Yeah, for sure.
There is no funny route.
Clemens could be.
I think Barron's funnier. I think Barron's funnier. Like, Clemens is on the field. Like, just do like Barron has been like, feels like Barron plays like 2 games a month. Like, I feel like I was like, Clemens getting an interception or like a strip sack fumble through osmosis, I can at least believe. Tyler Barron ever doing anything well, which stunned me.
Clemens might be funnier just because of the way he runs. Like, if he like tips a ball up to himself, catches it, and then he's just running like a horse on ice down the field, like that might be fun to watch.
Or also Clemens, if Clemens gets an interception, he is what, plus 120 to fumble it when he gets tackled?
As long as he gets it, I'm okay if he fumbles it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like, we can give the ball right back as long as we just get off the snide at that point. And also, can we force like a real turnover in North America? Like, I know we had a special teams muff punt last week, but this is a fair point though.
So with Mozzie Smith and Jelani Woods, Mozzie Smith is newer on the roster, so I'm not at this point with him yet. But like, if you're gonna bring a guy like this in, right? Why are you just like? They brought in Jelani Woods before week 1. It's week 14, right? Like, cut him. Or like, are you trying to keep him long term for a reason, or is this just a practice body at this point? I mean, in all likelihood, it's just a practice body. But I just don't understand carrying a guy like that with no long term intention.
I'm not. I've actually been fairly, I think, optimistic about the offensive coaching staff, and I know they're not quite the same player, but like, dude, if Stone Smart can't get on like for offensive snaps, I just don't know how Jelani Woods is.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
That's kind of where I'm at with that. You want to go over bets? You want to go back to Mendoza? You want to also? I feel like people didn't.
Let's do this. Let's do this because there's a lot of chatter. There's a lot of chatter in the chat about this.
Oh my god!
I don't know where to start. What do you think?
I'm probably gonna get canceled for this take, but I texted it to you. Like, when I saw the logo, this looks like a Jets logo for like Latin American like Heritage Month. Like,
I think where you're going is that it's very like LA Dodgers City Connect coded.
Yeah, or like this is something like I would expect like to see like for like El Paso football, like right on the border between Texas and Mexico, where like that cross culture like interacts. Like, that's how I view it. Same thing with like in SoCal, like where it's right on the border, like that. Like, I don't feel like New York has a connection to that part of the world. Like, and that's what the letter styling is. Those are the vibes it's giving me. Also, like, dude, if you're gonna call yourself Gotham City, can we get like a Batman, like something? Like, can you just pay the money to DC? Like,
I've never really gotten the Gotham obsession with this franchise. Like, I just, they're trying like so hard with it. Like, even the 2019 uniform reveal, which was God damn, those were so bad. Were like the Gotham green and the spotlight white and like the midnight black or whatever they were calling it. Stealth black. Stealth black actually makes sense because that's plane related.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Like, Gotham, there's like this obsession with Gotham City Football Club, and like, I don't know, man. I just don't think I get it. Like, what are we getting at?
Also, has anyone ever read a Batman comic book? Gotham Green, like the only thing green in a Batman comic book is the Riddler, who's like obnoxiously like loud green, like not the green like this at all. Like Gotham, like it feels like it's raining in that city and it's pitch black all the time. Like, I don't understand where the green is. So this is a good point. Ugliest Jets uniform ever is actually a good. Like, what is the answer? Because I will not stand for Titan slander. I still like those jerseys.
Yeah, no, I mean, we're all too young to have any emotional connection to that, but I think that the navy and the gold is like a classic enough look that you can live with it.
I like that
again, jersey. Like, no, For me, when I see the Titans uniforms, all I think of is Mark Sanchez eating a hot dog in Oakland.
Me too. Yeah.
That's where my mind immediately goes with that. I can't help it. I mean, I was an apologist for the uniforms that they wore from 18 or 19 to 24-ish. At the time, like I think I was just trying to convince myself that they were okay. But now, like a few years removed from it, you see pictures of them and you're like, my God, man, like they were the worst uniforms in the NFL, hands down. And especially when they wore like the green jerseys with the green pants. Oh God.
Dude, it was so bad. I like that picture, and like it was actually funny as they all got like traded or sent away. Like the exact picture that had like Len Williams, Sam, Robbie Anderson on it, like when they debuted them, and it's like that screenshot that leaked. I'm like, it's genuinely one of the like worst pictures of it. And also, like those jerseys are synonymous with Gase, even though Salah got to wear them for like 2 years, and then he got Aaron Rodgers, and then that was what made them decide, like, all right, yeah, we can't have a real quarterback wearing this slop. Like, we need to get like some new jerseys. But what's your current opinion of their current jerseys?
I like them. I think it's a good nod to what was going on in the 80s and 90s. I'm just going to put this up on the screen so we can all see it.
This is Chris Herndon.
Also, the group of players on here, like within 2 years, we were like, oh my God, all these guys are gone. I think that the current ones are a good nod to the 80s and 90s uniforms. I sometimes feel myself wishing there was a little more black involved. Like there was a tight period where they had black face masks in the 90s, I think that looked really cool. Connor made a good point about them, that the people who were there and Jets fans at the time don't remember them well because the team was so bad at the time. But I don't know. I think they've done a good job modernizing that look and kind of tweaking it like just enough that I really, really like it.
Yeah. I still like the 2000s jerseys, I think, better than the current ones. My biggest issue with their current jerseys is they just didn't just copy paste the 80s jerseys.
Yeah.
Like they still try, like there's still like a newer feel where it's like just go full vintage. Like there are some jerseys that NFL teams bring out that should just be their main, like Kelly Green should be the Eagles' main uniform.
Yeah.
Like the Jets 80s jerseys that you see, like I don't need the fanatic, like
just a little bit of black trim on the stripes on the,
like, yeah,
that's all.
Like, yeah, like I like 90% of things should just be like what they were. Like,
yeah.
You know, like it's kind of like a classic car. Like there's a reason the 69, version of this was as popular as it is, or people still want today. They don't need to buy the 2025 version. Like it's a classic car. It's a classic look. You don't keep it simple. But that's my big issue with like they're fine. Like they're a massive upgrade than what they were. They're probably like middle of the pack as far as the league goes right now. Like they were like 32 with the Gase jerseys, and now they're probably like hovering around 15, which is fine. Like, I'm not like, I don't really care too much about the jerseys. There's like a weird section of the fan base gets like very upset or like keeps track of like what pants they went in. I'm just like, yeah, dude, like I just don't have time for that, man. Just look cool, play cool.
Yeah.
That's about it.
I think my biggest critique would be I wish the green was either darker or lighter. It's kind of in the mid zone between what they were wearing in the early 2000s and what they wore in the 80s, which was more of like a true Kelly, like what's on my hat. They kind of
This is a great take.
They played it down the middle. I do kind of miss it too, dude. I mean, this is
a great take.
It really is.
Yep.
That would be an incredible uniform.
Yep.
And honestly, the next time they do throwbacks, they should just wear the uniforms they wore in the
keep the logo, bring those back. Give me a Chad Pennington Jet jersey with current day logo, and that is a top 10 combo in the league for me, and I am content as can be.
All right, I'm going to get the username on this guy right this time, now that I know what it is, and I've seen it before. Gator needs his GAT 3390.
That was the low point of the show.
That was the low point of the show. That was all I can do is watch the tape and clean it up. I'm sorry. Gator needs his GAT says, and thank you very much for the super chat. Very much appreciated. Biased Indiana fan here, circling back. I would trade Cringe for Clutch any day of the week. We need a winner at the position. He is a winner. Literally everything our dumpster franchise is needed. Love y'all. Hard to argue with, man. Like the guy has been winning. I I almost feel guilty.
He took an 11-1 program to 12-0. Sometimes that's the hardest thing to do.
Sometimes I feel guilty having the take I have. It's not. It's just like I can't escape it. Like that game ended last night, and I was like, man, I'm impressed. Like, again, he didn't throw for 303 touchdowns. He didn't carry them to victory, but he did what he needed to do, and I was impressed. And I feel like all the positive equity that had been built up in the past 2 hours, like, it just got shredded during the interview. And I feel badly for feeling that way. I'm explaining how I feel.
Also, I just want to shout this out. Just absolutely throwing Mrs. PSU Jew under the bus for 1-4 2 weeks ago. Like that, just an absolute sideswipe.
You know what, though? It's accountability. We got to own our wins and our losses.
But that's the Mendoza line where people are gonna like. It's a gray area. Some people think it's cringe. Some people think it's he like. You know how like artists and actors are just like inherently weird people in a way because they have to be to succeed in the industry. There's a case to be made that exists with athletes too. And you're trying to find, that balance of, like if you're too normal, that means you're not willing to be different and you're not willing to be great. But also when you're entrusted to lead a franchise, to lead a locker room, like being a quarterback is the most important position in sports, but it also isn't the only position in football. And I feel like that's where people sometimes like get hung up, where it's like, yeah, like I would love for, I'm trying to think, like New York has, like, Eli's such a weird example because like also people forget how things were with Eli before he won that first Super Bowl. Like it wasn't pretty, and then he won, and then obviously narratives change when you win. But I kind of think you have to be the one who breaks this drought. I do think you need a personality. I do think you kind of need the version of Namath in a way where it's like you like.
Which is part of why I'm obsessed with Joe Burrow.
Exactly. Like Joe Burrow wearing a fur coat, like he deserves. Like he should be the one who breaks the playoff drought. Like he's the one. Like. Maybe we're thinking too much about this, and maybe we should just be happy to go 9-7 one year with a mediocre quarterback, and then it flames out after the fact. But we're not staring a 16-year playoff drought in the face. But I don't know. I just think you're gonna be the Jets quarterback, and all that comes with it. You kind of need to be like the biggest personality in the city.
I will say, so there's a lot of comments in the chat calling Mendoza cringe, which as a man of my age, I don't think I'm allowed to say that word. I think it means we have a very young viewership, which is nice. Thank you for the kids for tuning in.
Yes. Actually, were you proud of me for my All the Rights Move references
yes,
in the group chat last night? I was just like, I had to educate Max about about Tom Cruise playing defensive back in the Steel City in the 80s. Like, I remember my dad showed the movie. I was like 10 years old. He's like, we're watching this. I was like, okay.
It's fantastic. Your father's a great man. So this is a good question. If he wins it all, do what you got to do to draft him. I'd be fine with that. I will say, like, my problem has not necessarily been what's happened on the field. At a certain point, if he runs through the playoff as the 1 seed, it will get to a point where it becomes hard to ignore, I think.
Yeah.
And it's at a certain point, like, yeah, maybe I'll talk myself into it. And that leads into this next comment, another super chat from Gator Needs His Gat. Thank you very much. Again, you wouldn't care when he's doing it. If he was doing it for your team, you would love it. And
that's 100% true.
That must be how Indiana fans feel. Like they just think he's our weirdo, right?
Yeah.
And I would get behind it if he was our weirdo. But in the lead up, it scares me.
Yeah, because there's a stigma that comes with being a Jets fan. Like, and that's exact stigma existed with Indiana football. Like,
this is cracking me up.
This is a fair point. This is the best counter.
The comment says it's kind of hilarious how people are saying dude's too cringe, like the Jets haven't been a cringe organization our whole lives. It's fair. It's very fair.
Literally, what do you like? Do you know what's cringe? Woody Johnson wearing Sauce's chains. That's cringe.
Yeah, that is cringe. I wonder if he still has it.
I don't know. Again, this is an off-season topic, and I feel like we're getting severely off topic here as we have a game in an hour. But the JetHeads are doing a deep dive about the Johnson's family obsession with only wearing white clothes. Like
after Labor Day, no less.
Like literally, it makes zero sense. Like,
so what do you got? What do you got bet wise today? I know
I have two bets today. I made
you're
two
a big Achane guy.
Devon Achane's a very good player, unfortunately. He's in both of my bets, actually, funny enough. This is the Misery Loves Company parlay. Devon Achane to record a 20-yard reception. Darren Waller touchdown is plus 991.
Ooh. That's tasty, actually.
I was like, I can't afford to have to bet this. And then I have A.D. Mitchell to record a 20-plus yard reception, 4 Mason Taylor catches, and Devon Achane over 31.5 receiving yards is plus 549. Those are my two bets today.
Okay. I picture Darren Waller just living in a hyperbaric chamber and rapping until the Dolphins play the Jets, and then they just take him out of the chamber and he comes in place.
He's basically like the one rapper who doesn't make his own music, but when it's time to drop one verse for one diss track on another artist, he's just there. He's ready.
Exactly.
He's ready.
I'm going to keep it really simple today. I don't want to have too much out there. I want to focus. I want to play a blanket defense on Tua myself all day because I'm a big part of this equation. And so I'm just going with the interception bet at 4 units. And I'm going with 2 units on the Jets to win. Jets at plus odds. Do it in the cold. Something's got to give. Something has to give. And so I'm going to keep it simple, and I'm going to keep it simple with 2 straight bets with plus odds.
Yeah, if I know Trevor Lawrence is coming, he's next week. I think it goes Jaguars Saints if memory serves.
Correct.
Dude, if they don't pick off Tua today in the cold, like, is it going to happen?
If it doesn't happen today, I will be legitimately worried that, like, at a certain point, for me, it was like, okay, let's just play the numbers. Let's play the odds. No team is going to go a whole season without an interception. But if they get through today without one, I think I will really start to feel like I could get to through the season, dumping 9 units in the last week on a bet that doesn't hit. And I will have at that point wasted like 25 units on it.
Yeah. Also, just to the last Mendoza point, and yes, if Mendoza wins the playoffs or the Super Bowl, like, yeah, obviously I wouldn't care what he did or if he was cringe or not. But also I feel like we're talking about like the Jets and Mendoza are like a likelihood to happen. And I'm not saying Jets don't like him. That's not my point. There are teams that need a quarterback that are in front of us.
At this stage, it's not
like look at the Raiders' schedule. They're probably not winning another game. The Titans aren't winning another game. The Browns, because of the Travis Hunter trade, have a war chest of their own if they want to trade up for Mendoza. The Jets aren't the only, is not the only, party here who's willing to dance. So you have to, and also the Saints too.
Yep. And the other point too is that this comment is taking it for granted that he will he will get to the playoffs and he will win a Super Bowl. Like, of course I'm taking it if those things are happening, but the fact that that is the personality makes me nervous that it's not going to happen. And can you imagine continuing to be bad, continuing to whiff on quarterback and adding that on top of it? That is what's scaring me.
Like, honestly, like they're like being cringe isn't even like, if you could tell me a quarterback's going to win the Super Bowl, I like overlook a lot worse things than being cringe. Like, let's call a spade here. This is year 15 of a playoff drought. Like, we could talk like legal, personal beliefs. Like, we could get really dark here if we wanted to, if you're guaranteeing that, in that regard. But like I said, he's your guy. And if he ends up a Jet, it's not like we're not going to root for him. Like, believe me, no one wants to do like the "I told you so" for this. Like, at this point, like, everyone has been right about the Jets in one way or another these past 15 years. There's no victory lap. Like, at the end of the day, like, the Jets need to get a quarterback. Whoever it is, whenever it happens, they have to get a quarterback and they have to win games. Otherwise, this regime will get fired. That's really it.
The way that game was going last night in the first half, I was cooking up a tweet in my head where I was like, the biggest winner today was Dante Moore. Like he's the only, because Ty Simpson had a tough game yesterday.
He did.
I think that, people who are willing to look past the result a little bit and see traits in Ty still felt okay about certain things. But I think the walk away point was like, he needs more time in college. Like
he does.
The way he played after, let's call it November, was a completely different player than the way he played the first half of the season. And so I think like the takeaway from the Alabama season as a whole is Ty Simpson needs more time. And I think where people were saying that about Dante Moore for a long time, people are starting to now be like, well, if his offensive coordinator's leaving and with the way the rest of the class is shaking out, like it kind of starting to feel like no better time than ever for Dante Moore.
Because there is a buyer beware with this. Like, look, like, do we talk about Drew Aller or Garrett Nussmeier anymore? No.
Right.
We don't. And like, last year's quarterback.
Well, we do, but it's as a value pick in the later rounds.
Correct. That's my point. Where it's like, and last year's quarterback class was worse than this one. Like, like Cam Ward's a talented player. Like, I liked Cam Ward, but like, besides him, there was no one else. Like, and you can make an argument that was last year's draft better or stronger, like from a non-quarterback position standpoint. That's.
Do you want to unveil your theory that you laid on us late last night?
Would I unveil you? What, that Ohio State tanked the game?
No, that was a good one also, but the one about the player you just mentioned, I don't want to put you on the spot too much.
Dude, I give out way too many theories. Which one is
All
this?
Right, I'll just say it out loud then.
Say it out loud. I don't care.
Meegs was saying, what if the Titans are dumb enough to say that we're going to move on from Cam Ward? What if they do an Arizona Cardinals? Essentially, was your question?
It was. Mike Borgonzi is on the record saying that like Jarvis Brantley is not an apples to apples comparison to Cam Ward, but he was like, we can't evaluate young players here because the situation's so bad, so we're just going to get rid of them.
And is that a situation you're interested in?
If you told me I can do the Colts first rounder this year, wherever it ends up, and for Cam Ward in like a fourth, I'd do it.
Okay.
I would. Like, I think Cam Ward, even like he's had some bad games and everything like that, but I think he's without a paddle in Tennessee. And I think if you get him in this system with Engstrand, with giving him a run game and the receivers that the Jets are going to have in this scenario, I think he could be very good. So, sorry. I have not lost belief in Cam Ward. I have lost all faith in the Tennessee Titans, and that has been gone for many moons. But if that happens and Borgonzi just falls in love with Mendoza, I would be the first team to call for Cam. I would.
Okay. All right. So what are we in the last few against the Dolphins? So 0-1. I guess they beat them in that meaningless game last year where
Aaron Rodgers versus Snoop Huntley. Come on now.
Yep.
They lost both games in 23, Black Friday. The pick six, Hail Mary pick six. Don't you forget. They lost, I think, both games in 23.
I think the last time they beat them, not counting that game last year, was Quinnen Williams stiff arm on Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, and they knocked Teddy out in like the first, like Skylar
Thompson. Tua was already out, and they knocked Teddy out essentially on the first play.
Yeah, I think that was sauce because he like blitzed them on like a sack, which like was almost like a safety or a grounding, if memory serves. Braxton Berrios had like a touchdown. Breece Hall had a couple of long plays. Michael Carter, I think had 2 touchdowns. He did like the Waddle dance in front of Waddle. That was actually a very fun football game for the Jets. They had a lot of those.
They really, though, they have 3 wins in the last they have 3 wins since 2017. So that's 8 years. So they're what?
And I can name all 3 of them. It's Snoop Huntley, it's the Michael Carter Waddle game, and it's the 2019 phantom pass interference game that they lost to the Dolphins where they got like the game-winning field goal when they really should have lost.
Yeah. And there was a time when I was younger where the Jets kind of owned the Dolphins for like a long period of time. And it would be really nice to get back to that. Division wins are going to be paramount for Aaron Glenn and his judgment by the fan base. And so like, it's time to start winning them, I think.
Yep.
And I think that's probably a good place to leave it for today. We're about to run over time. Kick it over to SNY, Connor, Steve Gelbs, and the boys. Thank you very much for joining us. Really, really appreciate you guys. Appreciate all the chats and the interaction, and PSU Joe calling in. And we will talk to you on Tuesday morning with some good voicemails. So leave us some voicemails.
Squish the fish.